Hey viewers, my name's Cara. Today I have a little unboxing and flip through video for you of the Oddments Tarot. This tarot deck was made by a musician and artist who goes by the name of Motion Sickness of Time Travel. This is their logo. And they are a friend of the directors of the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magick, which is here in my home city of Cleveland, Ohio. And so they provided them with a few of these decks, and I have been given one to unbox for you to share it with the rest of the world because this was a limited edition deck. At the time that I am recording this video, there are, it looks like, only 2 left available on the Bandcamp merch page of Motion Sickness of Time Travel, and there are a few that are going to be available in the Buckland Museum gift shop. But other than that, there aren't that many of these out there in the world, so it's just kind of a cool opportunity that I have to share something with you. So thank you very much to the Buckland Museum and to Motion Sickness of Time Travel for making this video possible. So it's kind of sponsored by the Buckland Museum today, which is cool. So the deck comes with this little booklet that's just sort of printed on regular paper and put together. It gives us a sneak peek at some of the card art. This version of the deck came in a little tin, which I love. I have never had a tarot deck that came in a tin before, but I know I read on their Bandcamp page that other decks were packaged in a velvet pouch. So mine happens to be in a tin, which I love. And it comes with this little card, which is kind of like their, almost like a business card with their logo, which on the back side of it, it comes with a download code for the album that goes with this deck. The album is called Oddments. So on the back of that card is my download, which I'm not going to give to you because I'm going to use it. But let's start with the little booklet here. The Oddments Tarot gives a little background of how the artist created this deck. They talk about how they originally made all of these different cards in collages, ranging from 3x5 to 11x17 on cardstock and computer paper. Source materials included pinups, nature and science magazines, travel brochures, postcards, photography, art books, calendars, all different types of things that were given to them. So in other words, they did not obtain the materials for this deck knowing that that's what it was going to be used for. And then in the acknowledgments here, the Buckland Museum is actually mentioned, so that's pretty cool. A little bit on tarot, and it also explains that they have included 2 additional major arcana cards. So in addition to the original 21, including the Fool, they have renamed Temperance to be Metamorphosis, which we see here. But then in addition to that, and we get a little sneak peek of the wheel artwork there. In addition to that, they have added, after the world, the artist and the musician. So we're going to see those as well. And then, yeah, it goes through their meanings that they have given to all of the cards in this deck. And some little sneak peeks of some of the collage artwork. So the first thing that I notice is that there is a lot of sort of negative space left untouched, which I think is pretty cool, especially like things like this where it goes outside the border, outside the box that they've used, the sort of frame. Some things are in the frame, some things are out of the frame. This one has curtains going in front of the frame. I just think that's really cool. So yeah, this little booklet has some extra information as well as a bibliography of sources that they have consulted, a lot of recommended tarot reading. And then this is the track listing for the album Oddments. Each track was inspired by readings that they had done or explorations with some of these cards. So here we are. We have my little tin here. This is the back of the card art. Hello, reflection in the plastic there. It is still shrink wrapped. And here we have our Fool. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this open and then get going here. From this point on in the video, I will probably be fairly quiet. Maybe even try to get some music on in the background or something for this. But yeah, I'll try to just keep comments to myself for now and do the actual flip through so we can see. So here we start with the Fool. So that is all the cards in this deck. My goodness. I can tell this is going to be a fun deck to get to know. It's definitely non-traditional. It's definitely an art deck. I love it. Some of it, I think just because it's, it's collage and it's, it's got so many different sort of elements to it and some of the coloration, even though as we can see just looking here, most of the cards have white as a predominant color. And the deck I'm about to mention is kind of the opposite. Some of these cards, some of just the overall feel of this deck reminds me of the Vertigo Tarot that was created by Neil Gaiman, Rachel Pollack, and Dave McKeon. I love this sort of collage style artwork, and I think before this, I referred to the Vertigo as my weird art deck, and I have to say, I think this definitely is now my new quote-unquote weird art deck, which I love. And, weird is never a bad thing coming from me. I love weird. And I love the fact that it is very much separate pieces of art. And some of them really speak to me immediately. Some of them are kind of like, oh, okay, that's really interesting. And like, I'll be interested to see as I start working with the deck how the art speaks to me. And I do want to say, so this is the artist and the musician. These are the two additional major arcana cards that were added for this deck. I do want to say that I appreciate that while some of the minor arcana cards do have, the Two of Wands has two wand-like objects on it, and there we have three of them. Some of them have that going on, but then others, the number is displayed a different way. And I really like the use of the upward and downward facing triangles as sort of the alchemical symbols of the elements that are traditionally associated with these suits. So wands being fire, and cups being water, swords being air. It was kind of like when I got into the court cards for this first suit, that I realized that's what was going on. That this upward facing triangle in the red, orange, and yellow tones was representing fire, and then it's mirrored here. And then as we get into the water suit, we have the downward facing triangles with very watery colors. I love this card. This one jumped out at me. This one, very cool. I love this. See, so like, I like that this artist didn't feel like they had to stick to the traditional, it's the Four of Cups, so let's put 4 cups on the card. Here there's 1 teacup, but 4 of those watery triangles. So I really like that. And then there are some that just seem to follow none of those rules. The Seven of Cups is another card that I always find intriguing in a deck, and I really love this one. So that's another one that stood out to me right away. Yeah, so, and they did go with a princess and prince and queen and king as the names of the court cards. This card is beautiful as well. So yeah. First impressions, it's a weird art deck, and I freaking love it. This card is cool. Yeah, so let me know what you think. You can go and check out Motion Sickness of Time Travel's music, chill, and read tarot cards, right? So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Thank you again to the Buckland Museum and to Motion Sickness of Time Travel. And thank you to all of you for watching and listening. I'll see you next time. Until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.